how are we all doing? I hope we're having a good weekend so far. So today is Saturday the 1st of February 2014. We are now into the second month of the year, so January was just long and painful, so glad that's out the way. But yeah, here we are, February now, so just going to power on through. So we're back, Smallville's back, the main story arc of Alien, it's chapter 7. There's a lovely cover there done by the awesome Cat Stags. Superman versus the Monitor. Oh dear, we are in trouble. So if you remember, I think it was like a month ago now. It's been a while since I did the last chapter for this one. So Superman got hit by the Monitor and actually felt the force of the Monitor. He's even bleeding. He's severely injured. We've got Lex bellowing to him in the background, saying, why are you just sitting there, kind of thing. And Superman's like, right, we've got to take a breather. We've got to regroup and try and re-strategize as such. The Rocket Red's brigade in particular also been immobilized, and Alexei is gathering his troops, and they've got medical on the way. So Superman then flies up towards the sun. He gets above the clouds, gets himself re-energized, and heals up as quickly as possible. And he reconnects with Watchtower, aka Tess Mercer, who's been trying to reach Superman for quite a while, but has not been getting through because the Russians had scrambled communications from when the Monitor had crash landed in Moscow. So eventually, as Superman was able to break airspace, he's now in communication with Watchtower. There's a mention of a character here that I didn't expect to be mentioned, but it's a character known as the Ray. I don't know that much about him, but all I know is that he has, I think his superpower is, I believe it's light-based, and he has the ability to, well, I'm not too, as I say, I don't know much about the Ray, but if you think about Dr. Light, for example, his power is sort of similar to Dr. Light. He has the ability to emit energy from his body. It's quite powerful if you want it to be. So yeah, the Ray's getting mentioned here, and apparently Tess enlisted the help of the Ray to recalibrate the USGS keyhole satellite, to at least get a visual on Superman's location. So she was trying to figure out where he was, and the Ray was the only person that she could enlist to figure that problem out. So then Superman goes back into action. The Monitor has escaped. He's disappeared somewhere, and so between himself and Lex, but when I say between himself and Lex, he's actually as Clark Kent, they now need to decide where the Monitor has headed to. And Otis is the one that's been tracking, the technical guys at LexCorp have been tracking the movements of the Monitor since his disappearance. And when Otis eventually shows Lex where the Monitor is headed, and Lex then tells the Russian Prime Minister about it, the Russian Prime Minister is basically saying, look, I don't want any involvement in this anymore. The Monitor's done enough damage. This is, if you want to continue and pursue this, that's down to you. And apparently there's it says here that area was abandoned for a very specific reason. It's talking about a place that this Monitor has gone to, and if it has anything to do with our wayward guest, I refuse to touch it. So the Prime Minister is literally, he just doesn't want to have any involvement whatsoever. I say Prime Minister, but Russian President, Prime Minister. So he doesn't want to have any involvement with it. He's even telling his Rocket Red Brigade that they're not going to get involved anymore. Now it's going to be down to the military's involvement instead. So Lex and Clark decide to go and investigate, and Lex is even telling Otis that he can't go with him, but only because Lex needs Otis. He doesn't care what happens to Clark. And Clark hears this from a distance and he's like, okay, that's what you think, but we'll see. Back at the Batcave in Gotham, we've got Bruce and Chloe both meditating. Chloe obviously wondering, you know, why is it Bruce is relaxing. He said he's not relaxing, he's meditating because it clears his mind, because that's what he does, and also because he needs to focus after they found out that the person wearing the Superman t-shirt and the cape happened to be Clark Kent, which is odd. So whether it's an alternate universe or something, no idea as yet. We still haven't got anywhere near that. But yeah, so Barbara is currently investigating, like, or you know, the surroundings, I would imagine, of this investigation in particular. We see various costumes for Batman and Nightwing, which is quite good. You can see all the different costumes that Batman has, and then there's two for Nightwing as well. And then Chloe's wondering, you know, okay, so he's got Bruce has Barbara, he's got Alfred, is there anybody else in his life? And then he just turns around and goes, well, you've got Oliver, Clark has Lois. You know, and then she's like, well, what about Bruce Wayne? Well, Bruce Wayne has Gotham. And that's where she brings in the big pitch conversation about how Bruce only thinks about Gotham. He's only there to look after Gotham. He doesn't look at the bigger picture. And she's trying to hint towards him that there is a bigger play going on that is bigger than Gotham, and you know, he needs to be prepared and ready for it. You know, so she obviously knows herself, because given the situation with Earth 2 and her parallel version of Chloe, you know, she's trying to basically tell Bruce, look, get your head out of Gotham. You know, there's a bigger picture going on out there. There's something bigger coming. You need to be ready for it. We're back with Lex and Clark, and they have arrived at a place that I didn't even expect that they would arrive to. Never would have guessed that this was going to be even on the map. But Chernobyl, we all know what's happened with Chernobyl. It is the city that got wasted by nuclear radiation, and it's been uninhabitable since the 80s, I believe. And yeah, it's a wasteland. So Clark and Lex, they arrive at the coordinates of where the Monitor had arrived, and well, they find something interesting. It's buried underground, and yeah, it's a spaceship. It's a huge spaceship. Kind of looks like the scout ship from Man of Steel. So I don't know if there's a bit of inspiration there, Brian and Edgar, if that's where you were going for. But yeah, that's where it ends. They found a big spaceship. We'll see what happens next week. So there we go. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you all very soon.